Not so long ago, fear of the Zika virus gripped the nation, and while the hysteria has died down, there is still the possibility of the virus being transmitted. Here with more from the city of St. Louis is the Chief Senior Medical Advisor, Dr. Thomas Zink. Welcome, Dr. Zink.
Thank you.
So mosquito season is almost upon us here in St. Louis as we go into spring. When's the height of the season?
When the nights get warm.
Okay.
That's when we have to worry about the mosquitoes coming after us and growing in their population size and becoming predominant for us.
Mm-hmm. So May, June is probably when it's going to start being an issue all the way into probably October, right?
Sure. As a matter of fact, it was so warm a couple weeks ago we saw some mosquitoes.
Oh, is that right?
So it's a matter of when they want to begin to hibernate and then rise up with the warmth and then start laying their eggs. But it usually, especially when it comes to this kind of virus, we usually need to have a lot of warmth at nighttime for us to start to worry about the particular mosquito that can carry Zika.
Yeah, yeah. And are that particular type of mosquito, have we seen them throughout the metro area? Is there a way to track it?
Yes, there is, and we do. And we collaborate with our partners in public health throughout the region on some of the studying that is done to try to capture the mosquitoes and examine them and define which species they are and which subspecies they are. The key here is for Zika virus, for instance, the most robust and efficient carrier of the virus is not a mosquito of the variety that we have in St. Louis predominantly, thank goodness. Mm-hmm. It's more in the tropics that we see that kind of mosquito. It's the Egypti version of the mosquito, and we have more of the albopictus type. So those are big fancy words, but essentially they tend to like the cooler nights, but they don't carry the virus as well.
Okay, so let's talk about mosquito prevention. What can we do at our own homes, in our backyards, to keep the mosquito population down? Is there anything that we can be doing right now or as we go into summertime?
Right now, we have the 4 Ds that we talk about, which stand for drainage. So the big one right now, with all the weather that we're probably going to be seeing as the transition from winter and into spring starts up, is rain. And mm-hmm. Rainwater that's still and water that is collecting in all kinds of different types of yard ornamentation, tires, things like that. We'd like the community to keep an eye out for standing water. So we want to drain standing water because that's where the eggs are laid.
So like bird baths, for instance.
Exactly, bird baths and other things that you have around your house. A lot of folks have wheelbarrows and things like that help them get their spring flowers and so forth all planted, and we need people to keep an eye on that and try to drain those things as best we can, keep them upside down, mm-hmm. or alert the city if they come across open areas that have a lot of standing water, mm-hmm. or tires that are abandoned and things like that, because that really helps the community. Draining the water keeps the mosquito population down. So
how long does it take for mosquitoes to start to populate in standing water? Is it something that, like, I'm just thinking of people with bird baths, should they be draining them every day?
Well, with bird baths, you'd like to try to fill them every day. Mm-hmm. So, and let them go down in terms of evaporation, but that's an awful, lot of work to do. The key is that these mosquitoes can lay eggs in less than a quarter of an inch of water, and they will thrive in that. So we do have to be vigilant around that. The other D's that I'd like to mention is that we should dress properly. So if we're up early in the morning, dawn and dusk, those are the other D's as well. Mm-hmm. And then Deet, which is the insecticide. So our 3 D's: drain, pay attention to dawn and dusk time frames when they're most active, dress properly if you're out in the woods with longer sleeves and so on, and then also use the insecticide Deet.
Deet, very good. All right, so we're going to talk more about the virus itself when we come back. Stay with us at STL Live. We'll learn more about how to prevent the spread of the Zika virus and what that's all about after this break.